Greetings, programs, and here we go for another issue of Aphelion Webzine. This is for the April issue of 2017, and there's lots and lots of good stuff for you. We're still doing the best of stuff for this year, where we reach back into the archives for the last 20 years worth of the best stories we've ever published, and things are looking good. You're going to find some amazing stuff, and you're going to find some new stuff, and you're going to find that you really want to go on the forums and comment on things that you've just read, and the writers will be very thankful. And now I know why people doing this kind of video thing talk so fast, because they got so little time to squeeze in so much content. And I don't have a script tonight, so I'm just winging it just as hard as I can. Just, flap, 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 with winging it. So, here we go. Now, this being the third of hopefully infinite series of video editorials that I'm doing, I'm hoping that I'm keeping the quality up to something that will actually entertain you. Don't have any big reveal stories about Aphelion's past tonight. What I do have is the fact that this is something really neat, and I'm looking forward to continuing it. Now, what we do need are some willing victims, some writers that we can interview so that our readers can get to know a little bit about the people whose stories they are reading. It would be nice if we could get somebody who's got a story coming up soon, or someone who is a regular contributor to Aphelion. Let's see. There are lots and lots of you out there, writers. You know who you are. Submit. And this time, not just a story. All you'd have to do is agree to get a Skype account if you don't already have one. Get a video camera, or if you want to do audio only, we can figure out a way to do that. All we have to do is put a slideshow in instead of pictures of you and me. And just talk to me just like you were talking to me on the telephone, and hopefully I'll have some interesting questions and you'll have some interesting answers, and the readers will feel just absolutely fine with that. Now, it strikes me as being in our 20th year, what have we not done? Well, this is one of the things that we have not done, is explore the visual side of the internet for these editorials and interviews and whatnot. These things are, oh dear, there goes the telephone. This is going to be really strange when it comes out. Hopefully my wife will get it. It's my daughter Michelle. So Lindsay got it, and everything's fine. Michelle is turning 36 this week. She and her mama have a lot of catching up to do as to everything that they've gone through in the past 36 years. It's absolutely lovely. My daughter Sharon is having some difficulties with legal stuff about trying to adopt the two children that she's got the paperwork on, and she's been the designated caretaker. She's been she has been the parent for these two kids since they were rescued from a very unfortunate situation. There's a GoFundMe that explains everything about the unfortunate history these kids had before my daughter Sharon stepped into their lives and said, "I'm going to rescue you, and you're never going to have to do that again." But that's neither here nor there. I can't go into the personal stuff like that, because I will break down and cry, and nobody wants to see that on a video. So let's get back to Aphelion before I was So delightedly interrupted, as opposed to rudely interrupted. Um, okay, we've got lots of nice short stories and serialized stories and poetry this month, just like we always have. We've got a selection of best ofs that the editors have been working on. Oh, editors! That reminds me. That reminds me. We have a fellow who volunteered to do the Flash fiction for March, the Flash contest in the forums section. And his name is Daniel, and I think he's done an outstanding job. And I hope that you readers will also agree that he's done an outstanding job and go in the forums and give him some kudos. I mean, he's earned this. It's not an easy thing to do. You got to work your butt off to do this stuff, and he has done exactly that. He's worked his butt off, and hopefully he's had a good time. Now we will find out soon whether or not he wants to continue this as an ongoing thing and become the Flash fiction editor. And we hope so because he's good. I mean, Nate's a really hard fella to step into those shoes. Nate did it for a long time. He's an absolute master of the form, but he had to go. It was time for him to go, and he needs to work on writing his own stuff. And that's the thing. His own stuff was so good before he ever started the Flash fiction. I shudder to think of how good it's going to be now. I mean, nobody will ever read mine if they get a chance at his. So I'm willing to take that chance. I really am. I want a Nate Kelhofer book on my shelf. I really do. I want that. Just like I want a book from all you writers out there on my shelf. You guys rock. I mean, good grief. Would I keep doing this for 20 years if I didn't enjoy your work? All the staff, everybody, keeps doing this just for the sheer love of it. I mean, seriously. And the fact that it makes me look good is accidental, really. They do all the work. I just pay the bills. I come on here, I type up an editorial, I do a video. Uh, uh, when it comes to a convention or something, I'm the public face of Aphelion that everybody sees. I get to brag about how good all of y'all are. I get to brag about how many countries we have readers in. I get to brag about everything that has to do about Aphelion, and all I'm really trying to do is get new folks to come in that have never experienced it before. Read the stories, maybe if they're so inclined, write their own stories, work with the editors, learn stuff that they need to know, submit to the paying publications, and become a pro, whereupon we got to go, well, we're sorry we'll never see you again, but best of luck and bye-bye, and please do come back, don't be a stranger. And we've had enormous successes in unleashing new writers upon the world, an unsuspecting world at that. Something close to 200, maybe over 200 writers by now. It's really hard to keep track of that kind of statistic. And y'all just amaze me. You just really do. You amaze me. You come up with things that I could never dream of. And you buckle down, you do the work, you learn your chops, and then you get your contract, and then your book comes out. And if you let me know about it, I buy a copy. I don't do reviews anymore except for people on like Amazon or something. I don't do reviews in Aphelion anymore. That's kind of sad, but I ran out of ways to say, this is fantastic, go buy a copy. And that's basically why I don't do reviews anymore, because everybody's got good stuff out there to read. There are so many people, uh, amateurs, pros, semi-pros, and they're all just so amazingly fantastic. And all the work they do, it doesn't look like work. It looks like they're playing. It looks like they're just goofing off. And they turn out all this stuff. That's how you know they're good. It looks like they don't have to work at it to make it good. But that's the secret. You got to do the work. You got to make it look easy. And you got to go through a lot of steps before you get to that point. Believe me, it took me 20 years to get to that point, and then I finally did, just like a lot of y'all, and a lot of y'all yet to be the new folks that are coming up now. Uh, it's really weird how much I admire you, and everybody seems to think that I'm something special here, and I'm just this guy. I write my own stuff. I do my own thing. Um, I spend a lot of time on my day job or doing yard work or you know fiddling around the house doing things, and make time for Aphelion. Well, it's not really making time for Aphelion. Aphelion is kind of an addiction. I do Aphelion no matter what, and it's always just been this thing that I wanted, this market that I wanted. That's no ads and no pretensions and no repercussions if we screw up, other than oh dear, somebody's not going to buy that book. But oh, I'm winging it. Give me a minute and let me think. Here we go. One, two, three. No, it's not coming. So I just had to keep winging it. Thoughts are flittering around in my mind like beautiful butterflies that I can't capture because throwing a net over them would destroy them. Now, is that an excuse or some nice imagery? I don't know which. Uh, I'll leave it to you to decide. I really will. These things just, words come in my head, and now they're coming out of my mouth, which is not something I actually enjoy doing, but yeah, I seem to be adept at it. I've had enough practice talking and talking and talking and talking. So, here we go. Going into April. Third issue for 2017. Fourth month. We have some new stuff that I have. Some of it was just jaw dropping. I just loved it. I just loved it. And I wish I could comment on the forums, but I can't. I can't allow myself to do that because somebody, and there's always somebody, is going to decide that what I like is what Aphelion publishes. And that's not true. That's not true. I never see it until it actually reaches the final issue upload, because the editors are the ones that read your stories and give you feedback and work with you to try and make the stories better and do all the coding and everything to make the web page come alive. I I don't see it. I don't see it. I don't tell them don't publish this because I don't know it's there. That's the way I want it. I don't want anybody to think that what my personal likes and dislikes are the rules by which you need to follow to get on Aphelion. No, that ain't so. The rules are you got to write the best stuff you know how to write. You got to be willing to correct your mistakes. You got to rewrite when the editor says this could use a little work. And you've got to accept the fact that not everybody is your core audience. If you're writing fantasy stories, the people that read hard science sci-fi probably are not going to read it with the same enthusiasm as a fantasy reader would. And the reverse is also true. If you're a hard sci-fi writer and you're researching every fact and you've got every scientific device just down to the wire as how it could actually be, and somebody that's a fan of fantasy comes and reads your stuff, they're not going to get as much out of it as one of your core audience, the people that actually read the hard science sci-fi or the soft science sci-fi, the this fantasy, that fantasy. There are a lot of different genres. It's important not to get trapped in a genre too. You should be versatile. You should if right outside your comfort zone. If you're used to writing sword and sorcery, then try your hand at something that's rockets and ray guns instead. There's a lot of overlap in that kind of thing. You can make that work, and it'll teach you something. And you might even discover that you're good in one genre and you're good in another one as well. A lot of the stuff that we do is about characters, bringing characters to life, bringing situations to life, getting this stuff to where a reader has fun reading it. That's the way to go. Doesn't matter what genre you're in, what you're aiming at, what you wind up being really good at versus what you would really love to do but you're not good at. Well, you can learn. You can spread yourself. You can learn. Anybody can learn. All right. I'm heading on into 17 minutes of a 15-minute video. So I'm going to stop blathering now and start editing this little piece and then upload it so that tomorrow night you get a brand new issue of Aphelion and all will be right with the world. Yes, indeed. Now, live and direct from Channel 23, this has been Max Headroom. Bye-bye.